And again, I'll pause in between to ask you your response. There is a response. There is something which the character will say, and I'll ask you what it could be in that. So the story is The Prince and the Cursed Beauty. Once upon a time, in a quaint village nestled between rolling hills, there lived a young woman named Jenny. Jenny had a heart as kind as the gentle breeze that rustled through the village, but she bore a heavy curse. A wicked witch had cursed Jenny to transform into the most beautiful maiden for 12 hours each day and into a hideous witch for the other 12. This duality cast a shadow over her life as the villagers feared and shunned her. During the day, Jenny's radiant beauty would mesmerize anyone who saw her. Yet as night fell, her visage would transform into something grotesque and frightening. This cycle of beauty and ugliness left her isolated and lonely, with no one willing to see beyond the curse to her true self. One day, a young prince named Adrian happened upon the village. He was on a journey to explore the kingdom and understand the lives of his people. As he walked through the village, he caught a glimpse of Jenny during her beautiful hours. Jenny's beauty struck him. Intrigued, he sought to learn more about her. He approached her gently and they began to talk. Over time, their conversations deepened, and Adrian found himself falling in love with Jenny. One day, as they sat beneath a tree, Adrian confessed her feelings to Jenny. Jenny responded by saying, "I love you too, Prince Adrian." Her voice trembling with both hope and fear. "But I must tell you about my curse. For 12 hours each day, I am the most beautiful woman in the land. But for the other 12, I become the ugliest witch. However, I have a choice to make. I can choose which 12 hours to be ugly." And then she asks Adrian, "Do you wish for me to be beautiful during the day so you can proudly present me to your friends and the court? Or at night so I can be beautiful just for you?" And friends, I'll pause here and ask each one of you to imagine you are Prince Adrian. And what would be your response? No right or wrong responses, just how you would respond to Jenny at this moment.
Very difficult choice.
Yeah, I know.
I think one should accept it both the ways. So I don't think the choice of when do you want it to be timeline should not be a problem, I think.
Sorry, Srividya.
I mean, I mean to say when you accept a person, you accept with both positive and negative things.
Wow.
So the concept of when do you want me to look beautiful or not, it's all the perspective. I don't think that that should be a think something should be
Wow.
worried. So it
So
doesn't matter whether in the nighttime or a daytime. So I think that's what I feel.
beautiful. So thank you for sharing that, Srividya, and spilling the beans. So let me anyway continue with the story now. Adrian looked deeply into Jenny's eyes.
सर आई वांट टू ऐड समथिंग
Yes, Amit.
सबसे पहले तो हमको किसी को ये चॉइस करने का मौका देना ही नहीं चाहिए कि कोई हमें चूज करे कि हमें कैसे रहना है। अगर किसी के सामने हमको ये मौका मिल रहा है कि वो डिसाइड करे कि मैं कैसे रहूं, तो सबसे पहले तो ये चॉइस ही गलत है, ये होना नहीं चाहिए। अगर है भी तो मुझे लगता है कि उस लेडी को उस अपने सबसे खराब टाइम पे सबके सामने आना चाहिए, और उस वक्त उसको ये देखना चाहिए कि कौन उसको एक्सेप्ट कर रहा है, क्योंकि रियल फेस लोगों का सभी तभी सामने आएगा। क्योंकि आपके सबसे अच्छे टाइम में सभी आपके साथ होते हैं, लेकिन जब आपका सबसे बुरा चल रहा हो, वो देखने के लिए, वो जानने के लिए उसको अपने सबसे बुरे टाइम पे ही लोगों के सामने आना चाहिए। तो पहली चीज ये कि हमको चॉइस करने नहीं देना है किसी को, चाहे वो हस्बैंड हो, चाहे वो वाइफ हो, चाहे कोई भी हो, कि आप डिसाइड करो कि मैं किस रूप में आपके सामने हूँ। दूसरा ये कि अगर ये मौका मिलता भी हो तो मैं अपने सबसे खराब अपना यूज करूंगा, ताकि लोग मुझे समझ सके, और तब मैं लोगों को देख सकूं कि लोग मुझे कैसे एक्सेप्ट कर रहे हैं सर।
Sure.
तो
Thank you. Thank you for sharing that. Yes, Hemlata.
Yeah, whatever Amit also said, I resonate with that. That you, if you accept me at my worst, then only I am yours.
Yeah, yeah. Sure. Thank you. Thank you for sharing that. Beautiful. So let's see how Jenny responds. So uh, let me just pick up where I was. Okay, so Adrian looked deeply into Jenny's eyes, seeing the vulnerability and sincerity within. He paused, contemplating on her words. And then, with a gentle smile, he replied, Jenny, the choice is yours. I fell in love with you for who you are, not for how you look. Whether you are beautiful during the day or night does not matter to me. What matters to me is that you are happy and free to choose how you live. Jenny was taken aback by his response. Tears of joy welled up in her eyes as she embraced him. Your acceptance and love have broken the curse, she said. The witch's spell is lifted, and now I will be beautiful all the time. From that day forward, Jenny remained the enchanting, kind-hearted woman she truly was, both inside and out. She and Prince Adrian married and ruled their kingdom with wisdom and compassion. So thank you, friends. That was the story. And I'll be happy to hear from you, your comments, takeaways.
Ashish, that's why it's called a fairy tale.
Yeah, Yeah, absolutely.
Because in reality, we have to take care of everything. I fully endorse what people are saying, that this person should accept you the way you are, or we shouldn't take permission from anyone to be who we are. Yet, in practical life, we have to take care of all the aspects, not
Yeah.
only about our presentation, also about at places where we have to sometimes adjust depending on the other person's, or how this particular situation demands which I would say how we have to adjust according to the situation. So that is the real crux for me. But I love hearing fairy tales.
Thank you, Aarti, for sharing that. Thank you so much.
So I have a diametrically opposite view to what Aarti said.
Yeah,
Yeah, Aarti.
that is what makes this so wonderful.
Sorry, Aarti.
I'm eager to hear.
Okay, so see, let me take a situation in life. So when we are young, okay, we want to possess everything which is good, isn't it? Including the lady who we marry or the gentleman who we decide to marry. Okay. So once we get married or once we are in possession, जैसे जैसे उम्र बढ़ती है सुंदरता तो नहीं बढ़ती, लेकिन वो रिश्ता गहरा होता चला जाता है. वो क्यों होता है? Because I am able to accept whatever has been thrown at me by life. Okay. So if I am able to accept, it is not easier said than done. It can be done, and that is what Bhagavad Gita also says. That acceptance is something that is, because situations can never be as per in my control, but acceptance of those situations, accepting that Jenny the way she is, whether in the night or during the day, is something that we also need to accept in life. कई बार situation ऐसी हो जाती है, all situations are not as per my liking, but we have to accept. We have to. अगर हम नहीं करेंगे तो हम then we get stuck, and there is a saying in English, move on. Then how do you move on? If I get stuck to a situation, okay, so it's not a fairy tale. This, I think all these stories teach us something, and all these stories some come with a lot of wisdom. The only thing how I take that wisdom is my prerogative. So I look at it this way. Sorry, Aarti.
No, that's all right. I love your perspective and it's beautifully put.
Yeah.
And yet I feel that in Bhagavad Gita also Krishna told Arjuna to bring out that facet. कि तू शूरवीर है, तू अपना शौर्य जगा. So at times we have to hone our various qualities, which of course is not 24 hours, but for that particular situation, वो एक जो particular quality है, हमें वो आगे रखनी पड़ती है.
भगवत गीता में जो भगवान ने बोला अर्जुन को, वो भगवान ने ये बोला बिकॉज अर्जुन तो क्षत्रिय है, और अर्जुन बोलता है कि गांडीवं स्रंसते हस्तात् त्वक्चैव परिदह्यते न च शक्नोम्य वस्थातुं भ्रमतीव च मे मनः. तो बोलता है कि मेरा तो मन भ्रमित हुआ चला जा रहा है इनको देख के, जो मेरे खुद के लोग हैं, युयुत्सम समुपस्थितम, ये जो उपस्थित मेरे लोग हैं उनको देख के मेरी त्वचा जली चली जा रही है, मुझे बुखार आ गया है, मेरा गांडीव गिरा चला जा रहा है. He gets deluded. He does not remember that he is a क्षत्रिय anymore. बोलते हैं भिक्षम पीह लोके, बोलते हैं इससे अच्छा तो मैं भिक्षा का पात्र लेके जी लूं. So Arjun is now deluded. What Bhagwan is trying to do or tell Arjun is your obligatory duty as a Kshatriya is to establish dharma, and you have to remember that. And माम अनुस्मर युद्ध चा, बोलते मेरा स्मरण करो, तू युद्ध कर, क्योंकि तू युद्ध ही करना है. लास्ट में अर्जुन क्या बोलता है? नष्टो मोह स्मृतिर्लब्धा त्वत्प्रसादान्मयाच्युत स्थितोऽस्मि गत संदेहः करिष्ये वचनं तव. बोलते मेरा जो मन है, इट इज नाउ आई एम बैक. स्थितोस्मि गत संदेह, मेरे संदेह सारे निकल गए,
नष्ट हो गए हैं आपके ज्ञान से.
मेरा मोह नष्ट हो गया. स्मृतिर्लब्धा, मेरी इंटेलेक्ट, मेरी मेमोरी वापस आ गई. स्मृतिर्लब्धा त्वत्प्रसादान् मयाच्युत, आपके प्रसाद से अच्युत भगवान, is what Arjun says. So we have to look at the Bhagavad Gita in the right perspective also.
Yeah.
I
Thank you.
fully agree with you, yet there are certain areas where I still have a different perspective. But let's Ashish pitch in.
Surely.
Let's
That's
agree
really,
to disagree.
yeah. But now we are coming to the end of the session, but really appreciate the perspective everyone has shared. Prasunji, Aarti, Amit, and Hemlata has a question. My question is difference between adjust and accept. And I'll respond to this in a manner I understand it. There can be different layers to this question. But adjustment is born, maybe if I look at it very broadly, from fear, and acceptance is from love. So when you are operating out of a mind space of love or a heart space of love, then you would accept people as they are, you know. So the prince was not adjusting to Jenny. He accepted her as she is out of love. Adjustment would have been कि ठीक है मैं 12 घंटे उसके साथ कैसे भी बिता लूंगा जब वो अगली है. That was not the point. इसे उसने दिल से उनको accept किया. So the more we operate out of love, the more acceptance will happen. It's also, there are many layers to this answer, but this is what I would say for the time being.
Beautifully said, Ashish. Acceptance is from love, and
Yeah.
adjustment is from the
Fear from space of
fear.
love.
Very beautiful. Very beautiful.
Thank you, Aarti. Hemlata, does that resonate with you?
Yes, sir. Absolutely.
Okay.
Aarti and the other person both were saying it's the same thing, but one is saying adjust, one is saying accept. That is why I put that question.
Very beautifully
Thank you.
replied Ashish.
Thank you, Aarti.
सर तब
Thank
क्या
you
होता है
so-
जब जेनी अगली ही रह जाती है और उसके लव्ड वन से जो उसको एक्सेप्ट नहीं करते कभी भी, तब जेनी क्या करती है, उसको क्या करना चाहिए उस टाइम पे?
Sorry, Amit, could you repeat that?
सर अगर जेनी 12 घंटे 24 घंटे अगली ही रहती, अगर वो ब्यूटीफुल कभी भी नहीं हो पाती और उसके हस्बैंड या उसके लविंग वंस उसको एक्सेप्ट भी नहीं करते, सोसाइटी भी एक्सेप्ट नहीं करती, तो उस केस में उसको क्या करना चाहिए था? ये तो सब अच्छा अच्छा हो गया कि उसने एक्सेप्ट कर लिया, वो अचानक से सुंदर बन गई, बट ये चीजें नहीं होती तो जेनी को क्या करना चाहिए था उस टाइम पे?
So that's a hypothetical question, Amit, and I'm not sure. So just stay on a little bit, and we will see what are the other responses we are getting. And we will close the session, but I'll be there to explore that with you. Any other comment on any story? But I would also be happy to hear from you. Which of the 3 stories you liked the most? Heaven or Hell, or The Female Deer, or The Prince and the Cursed Beauty? Which of these stories that you liked the most? Female Deer, okay, Shomita, thank you. And either here or in the WhatsApp group, please share one takeaway from the story. Thank you, Prasunji. Thanks, Smita, Female Deer. Okay, thank you. Please share your takeaways in the WhatsApp groups also, so that it will motivate more people to watch the recording and benefit from it. And we will continue with the series of. Would you like us to continue with the series on stories that inspire?
Ah, interesting.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Okay.
Very interesting.
Okay, there are many more that I have.
We'll
So
listen.
the whole bundle. So yes, okay, thank you, Hemlata. So we'll continue with this maybe. So this is the third one we are doing in 7-8 months. So about once every 2-3 months we do, and we'll continue. Thank you, Amit. And on that beautiful note, thank you each one of you for joining us and participating actively. Our next session will be on 17th of August. Next weekend, there will be no session as I'm traveling to Bangalore and we are we are having a mindful living community meet in Bangalore. But our next session will be on 17th, and I'll request you to block your calendars. It'll be based on leadership lessons from military by Brigadier Vidor. So it'll be either in the morning or at 5 p.m. We are finalizing some of those things. So we'll let you know as soon as possible. So stay tuned. Have a wonderful weekend. Thank you for joining.
माइंडफुल लिविंग का मीटिंग अहमदाबाद में नहीं कर सकते क्या?
जरूर कर सकते हैं सर, वही तो आपसे डिस्कस करेंगे अभी इसके बाद. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you,
And
everybody.
thank you. I'll continue the
Thank you,
discussion with
Ashish.
Amit. Anybody
Thank
wants
you.
to stay, please
you so
stay
much.
on. If in case you have another commitment, please move on. Yeah. Thank you, everybody. Yeah.